What is up, YouTube fam, and welcome back to Average Guy DIY. Today we are doing something a little bit different, super exciting, and extremely fun. Right now I am on a ferry and we are crossing a small inlet of water on Lake Ontario heading towards Billy Bishop Airport. It's so cool to see the city from so many different angles. You can see the CN Tower there off in the distance, and if you haven't been there, make sure you schedule a touring and check out the 360 restaurant. It is so delicious, but it is also extremely expensive. Right now I'm just waiting for my instructor to arrive. This is as far as they would let me go. I'm super excited, but I'm also a little nervous because I've never done anything like this in the past. With that being said, I'm not scared of flying, but when you see planes this size, you can't help but be just a little nervous. If you've ever been on a plane this size and you've had some scary experiences, leave it in the comments below. I'm super curious to hear what you have to say. It's so wild because this plane that you see in front of you, the prop is actually moving. That's why the plane is shaking, and it's moving so fast I can't even catch it on camera. I'm not ashamed to admit I always thought planes had some type of motors in the wheels to propel them forward, but they actually use the prop for everything, even to move them forward. And in the wheels, they just have disc brakes. Well, most of them this size. As I sat here and continued to see these planes come in and park and move around, I began to get more and more anxious, wondering what it's going to be like to actually be in the cockpit of one of these things. Come on, I mean, look at that plane shake. That can make any grown man nervous, trust me. Alright, so my instructor showed up and he gave me a tour of the plane, and I need to show you guys how complex the cockpit looks. If this is not the most intimidating vehicle on earth, after my instructor reviewed a lot of basic stuff, we started taxiing to the runway and I knew that he knew what he was doing. I unfortunately dropped the ball on so much of this video, especially when it comes to the takeoff, but before we started to take off, there was a gigantic plane in front of us that we were taxiing behind, and we could feel the turbines, the wind of the turbines hitting our plane from the plane in front of us. And in the air we went. It all happened so fast, but don't worry, I did get the footage of us coming in for the landing. Flying over the water was so cool, and it's so neat to see big boats now small from aerial view. On the map here you can see that we just took off from Billy Bishop Airport, banking slightly left. The wings of the plane that were super wobbly on the ground are now super still and silent in the air. It's just so cool. Looking back at the land, you can really see how small and somewhat insignificant our little lives are, and I'm telling you guys, there is something bigger and greater than us all. At this point, while I'm sitting in the plane, I'm noticing that it actually feels like we're going really slow until I reference the ground and I see how fast we're moving from one point to the next. So right now we're heading through Scarborough towards the Toronto Zoo. And there's the Toronto Zoo right there, the huge parking lot that they have. It's at this point right here where I wanted to adjust my seat, so I grabbed the seat adjustment underneath the seat and I moved it forward, and it moved the whole plane off trajectory and really caught me off guard. It was actually pretty scary. At this point, we begin to bank left again, making a U-turn to slowly head back to the airport. You can see the prop here is just working so hard, and you can't help but think to yourself, if that just so happened to stop, what would you do? It's like TD Jake said, it's faith and fear working in the same place. I have faith that I'm going to make it home, but boy, am I fearful, hoping nothing on this plane goes wrong. We are now doing the fun part, beginning to make our descent back to the airport and land. I sped this part up for you guys just because, like I said before, it can feel like you're moving a little bit slower in the air, even though you're moving super fast. My instructor was so good, and his landing was actually so soft and controlled. And thus cometh the end to every great adventure. So I know this video was a little bit different for you guys, and it will be placed under the Average Guy DIY Adventures playlist. That's where I'll be posting all of my super cool adventures, especially the significant ones for you guys to take part in. And once again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and thanks so much for watching.